Bolivar Live, Birding on Bolivar with Winnie and Wyatt is brought to you by Beachy Beatnik Boutique, located at 970 Surfside and Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas. Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live and welcome to the fabulous, gorgeous Rookery. This is our last show in our 10-week series we've been doing with the Houston Audubon. And first I want to start off by saying thank you to Winnie Burkett and Wyatt. I'm not going to try and pronounce your last name.
No worries.
For really diving in and taking the time to do this, because with schedules and everything, it's troublesome, but it's well worth it, and we've had some great response. We were walking through the back way coming in, and I haven't been up here now for about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and it's completely changed in 2.5 to 3 weeks. And I'm going to show you a video of when I first came out here in February of the trees behind us, and now you can see what they're like. But let's talk about, we're right in the peak now. It's April 28th. It's the peak. What's everyone seeing? Because I've seen chick eggs laid, chicks hatched. They're gone, or they've grown now, but we're on another group of chicks. Let's talk a little bit about where we were, where we are, and when it'll all end with chicks.
Okay, so to start, a lot of the birds, kind of like I mentioned before, the great egrets and the cormorants get started pretty early because they're big, so they need to sit on the edges of out of the edges of the vegetation. Over time, as the season progresses, the smaller species kind of fit in all the little nooks and crannies. We also have some migratory species like cattle egret and tricolored heron that move further distances between the summer and the winter, and so they're just now getting back. And so right now we're starting to see the upswing of the tricolored herons nesting. The cattle egrets are starting to nest now, and so you have this sort of continual turnover starting from February through April. And a lot of the bigger species like those cormorants and those great egrets, just because they started nesting in February didn't mean that they were successful. We get rain here and there, and that fills the marshes, that gives them more food. And so if they weren't successful the first time, they'll try again.
Oh, will they?
Yep. And so that's why now is kind of where we have the largest density and largest numbers of nesting birds. And that's why this is the time of year that we actually go out and count all of them.
Yeah, I heard you. I was up here at a fundraiser last Saturday night, or a week ago, and you were talking about, I was talking about when to come in the evenings to film, and you said about 30 minutes before sunrise or an hour before sunrise, because that's when birds really start. Sunset, sorry about that. And that's when birds really start diving in to roost for the evening, and that's when you also do your bird count.
Correct. So a lot of these birds, especially now that they have chicks, now both adults tend to be off foraging. A lot of our birds will forage, well, they have to go where the food is. So they'll go as far as Jocelyn Nungaray, formerly Anahuac National Wildlife Refuge. They'll go to McFadden National Wildlife Refuge. And then in the evening, they all come into roost because those alligators and that protection that give them protection for their eggs also give them protection for themselves. So they like to spend the night in an area where they know that a raccoon or a coyote can't get them.
Talking of alligators, you and I were talking about this, and I'm going to try and find the clip and put it in here. Y'all have some big gators here.
We do.
I mean, there's one, you may be looking at it now, that's probably about 14 foot long, I figured, looking at it, and wide. And so, yes, I wouldn't want to swim across the canal. Moving forward now, the egrets have nested, the greater egrets have nested, if I'm not mistaken, and the spoonbills are nesting. Have they started hatching?
Around now is when we start getting eggs hatching, and every year is a little bit different, so the timing's a little different. Our spoonbills got here and kind of started getting their act together a little bit sooner than they normally do, and so this year we expect to see our first chicks a little bit earlier than we normally do, but there are a lot of variables that play into that. But there are definitely a lot of chicks on the way
On the way.
in the next couple of days.
When does the hatch really stop? You know, when will we stop seeing chicks?
So we'll stop seeing new chicks hatch usually sometime in June. A lot of for example, the cattle egrets will start building their nests kind of the end of April and start laying their eggs. So really, by mid-June, we stop seeing new chicks hatching, but there are still a lot of chicks in the nests that are being fed and getting ready to fledge.
I want to let everyone know, we've been talking about birding season. You know, we started our shows, I think, the end of February and ran them through the end of April. But there's birds out here year round. And there's a beautiful area year round. There's just more mosquitoes.
Correct.
And down in Texas, I've had mosquitoes in December, January, February, or there's really not a season we don't have them. So just because it may not be birding season, you can still come out, watch where you walk because snakes and stuff are out. But you can see behind us, the birds are here and there's no reason not to come down and enjoy it in June or July. You may just come out early or you may come out late and stay away from the heat of the day. But there's a lot of areas, even on the beach. You can go to the beach with the family. We were down at the North Jetties and the Bolivar Flats and bird while you're on the beach. In fact, I was down there a couple days ago shooting some clips and stuff because of the tankers and stuff in the background. Winnie, if there's one thing, you've been out here probably longer than any of us, maybe longer than some of the birds out here. If there's one thing you wanted to let people know about the rookery and birding out here, what would it be?
Well, pretty much what you just said. It's pretty active all the time. And the nice thing about the canopy walk is that during the day, when you're on the canopy walk, you're pretty much out of the mosquitoes.
Are you?
Once you get up on the walk. In the evening, the mosquitoes rise. And so if you're going to be here at sunset, it's good to have mosquito repellent on.
Okay.
But of course, in Texas, when you get off the beach, it doesn't hurt to have mosquito repellent on anytime.
I was going to say, anytime. Well, I know for the last 10 weeks, I've learned a lot about birding, and I've spent a lot of time out here. Usually if I'm out here 2 hours, I'm shooting 75 to 125, 15 to 20 minute clips that y'all have been seeing. And so for myself, Wyatt, Winnie, the Houston Audubon, thank you to everyone that shared our shows. Some of these shows went as high as 78,000 views. I know that some people have come down here to see the rookery that typically wouldn't have come down here, and that's what it's all about. And I'm happy to say, I don't know which one I'm going to rope into it for next year, but we've already started thinking about next year's birding on Bolivar, starting at the end of February 2026, and sort of carry the same program and schedule we had this year. Is there any last words of wisdom? Let's talk about access and speed real quick.
Sure.
Go ahead and tell them what some of the rules are out here.
So our sanctuaries are open from sunrise to sunset. And when you're driving in on Smith Oaks, the speed limit's 10 miles per hour.
And that's going fast on that road.
That's both for your safety and the safety of others. It is a dirt road, so we do get potholes, and it's, we don't want anyone breaking their cars. Yeah, please stay on the trails. We don't allow feeding of any of the wildlife. They can find food on their own, including the alligators. And no laser pointers, no bird calls from your phone. But other than that,
just an iPhone with a zoom and a good time. And spend some time out here. Like I said, it's open year round. Birding season when the chicks are here is this time of year. But you can come out here in June, July, August, September, October. In fact, we're going to be doing, Wyatt doesn't know this yet, we're going to be doing some other shows out here throughout the year just to show you the different phases of it and what there is out here to do. So, well, thank you guys for taking the time over the last 10 weeks, and we'll be back the end of February 2026 with another Birding on Bolivar with Winnie and Wyatt or Wyatt and David or Winnie and David. We don't know who, but we're going to be here. So for more information on the area, not here only here, but also in Houston, make sure you check out the Audubon's website at houstonaudubon.org. It's right here on the bottom of the screen. And until next time, y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. Come explore the Rookery and the birding on Bolivar. God bless, and bye-bye. Looking for the perfect blend of seaside charm and unique style? Nestled right here in the heart of Crystal Beach, Texas is Beachy Beatnik Boutique, located at 970 Surfside and Highway 87. Beachy Beatnik Boutique is your coastal fashion haven and jewelry lovers' paradise. Special thank you to Beachy Beatnik Boutique for sponsoring our Spring 2025 Bolivar Live Birding on Bolivar. Video equipment is sponsored by Crystal Beach Decor and More, located at 1959 Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas, and Beachy Beatnik Boutique and Jewelry, located at 970 Surfside and Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas. Thank you to these two businesses for being our 2025 video equipment sponsor for Bolivar Live.